Hello again. This is Peter Collins with a promotional video on the second of my goal setting videos, and I call this Advanced Goal Setting. Subtitle is 3 Blueprints You Need to Be Aware of, and it teaches you how to achieve your goals by creating high income based goals. In other words, if you've ever wanted to write 2, 3 or 4 times more commission, or achieve ways of earning 2 or 3 times, 4 times more than you're earning now, this video will take you there. And in the 3 blueprints, you'll get a very good understanding of how to take your goals to the very next level. I do that in the first of the 3 blueprints. In the second of the 3 blueprints, I introduce you to a friend of mine who has a wonderful way of writing out goals, and the trouble he goes to means that he'll write out those goals at least 100 times, then he'll start tinkering with them by fine-tuning those goals. And once he's done that, I can assure you of 2 things. Firstly, he'll achieve his goals way ahead of time, and secondly, he'll achieve his goals at a higher level than he actually scheduled through his goal setting. And he does this year after year after year, and I'm talking amounts of income on his part in excess of $1 million a year through the goal setting that he does. And the third is, of those 3 blueprints, is a way that I've been setting goals now, based on Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And it's the process that's helped me rewrite record books hundreds of times, and I'm talking about world, national, regional records. And it's the same process that's got me into 3 inductions into the International Hall of Fame for my sales accomplishments. So this is all in this second video. And you know what? I personally would like to see you move up to that level in your wholesaling process from this point onwards, because it won't only be life-changing, it'll change the direction in which you live your life. And yes, the introduction to the second video is a direct extraction from my second video on goal setting, advanced goal setting. Congratulations on completing the first of my goal setting videos. I call this Achieving Goals Through the Power of Focus. And here I bring in 5 factors which are the foundation for setting goals. Now, the first is visualization, followed by laser-like focus, then written goals, then affirmations, and then KPIs, which are key performance indicators. Now, I bring in a special emphasis on affirmations. In fact, of the 2-hour video, nearly 1 hour has been put aside specifically to share the power of affirmations and why they're so important in your goal setting. Now, everybody understands that affirmations are something that we usually do by repeating those affirmations out aloud during the working day, combining them with what we do with our goal setting, and then repeat it day in, day out. Now, with the majority of salespeople, they all know the power of affirmations, but very few actually get to work with affirmations more than 2 or 3 days, sometimes even 4 or 5, before they find the going too tough, both mentally and physically, with those emotions and those affirmations that go with those emotions. So what we need to do is to understand why you're not succeeding. And the main reason is most people set their affirmations in a logical manner. And yet we know in sales, logic doesn't work. It's the emotional factor that gets you over the line in your selling. So here, I purposely go through 10 emotional affirmations that you can use on a daily basis, but they get a little bit dry. So I teach you how to bring in 4 logical affirmations that you can then link with your emotional affirmations that make them work for you. And in fact, I teach you how to get past either 21 or 28 days, and that then becomes habit forming. And if you follow through with this process for a total of 90 days, it then becomes a lifestyle. So that is the basis of what we've created specifically in video 1. Video 2 is a little different to that, because in video 2 I purposely focus on 3 blueprints which then create the goals that you will need not only for now but for the rest of your life. Now, the first of those blueprints are very basic, and they take you through the process of understanding how goals should be set for them to become lasting goals. The second of these segments of the 3 blueprints, I will say, will take your goal setting up another 2, 3, or 4 notches immediately you go to work with it. Because this friend of mine that I've known for way over 20 years always sets his income goals, or you might even call it his commission goals, to stand in excess of $1 million every year. And in fact, way over $1 million every year. Now, the process that he uses is quite unique. Now, I call it a process because it's not a system. And that process takes time to develop, takes time to work. But because of that process, he achieves his goal way ahead of time, year after year after year. Then in the third of my 3 blueprints, I take it up yet another couple of notches, because here I bring in the goal-setting process that was set many years ago, probably 80 years back, by Napoleon Hill, and you'll find this information in the book Think and Grow Rich. Now, with that, I share how I was taught to understand how to set goals as far back as 1976. Now, that's a long time ago, but with what I started putting together then, I actually started rewriting the sales record books all over the world, year after year after year. It's the same information that got me into 3 International Hall of Fame inductions, and it's the same information I used either worldwide to set my goals, or on a national basis, or even a regional basis, and I have done it ever since. So you'll get some takeaways out of this video which will be staggering, but it'll bring your understanding of goal setting to a brand new level. Now, unlike in the first video, I don't do anything else here except bring in goal setting in its truest form possible, because you need to understand this in order to get through the rest of this video series and do it in the most professional manner possible as a salesperson. Now, what most people aren't aware of, and there's a reason for this because I just haven't made it public, and that's why so many people don't know about this, is that for the past 5 years I've been putting together an absolute array of videos on different subjects in the selling field. I call this my sales vault, and it's now over 1,200 videos in total, and they cover all different subjects. So the purpose behind it is I can now start bringing in these videos from the vault. I can then share the information with you, and you'll find it interesting as I do, because none of us think the same way year after year. And the way that I expressed things and thought about things 5 years ago is a lot different to the way that I express and think about things today. So you've got a smattering of all sorts of ideas and ideologies over the past 5 years that as I interleave these into the videos I'm working on at the moment, you'll start getting different perspectives on the same subject. And that is invaluable to both of us. Hello, this is Peter Collins, and in this module, I want to give you a different slant on goal setting. That's right, goal setting. There's so much been said and done about it, but I want to show you something which is so easy to follow, and in most cases, the goals that you set, you will overachieve. How would you like to set a goal and actually achieve it in half or 3/4 of the time frame that you set for it? How would you like to set a goal and achieve twice the amount of sales that you wanted from that goal? Well, it's all possible, because to do that, you need to create a picture of who you want to be, the kind of career you want to have, and where you want your future to be heading. That's right. That should all be incorporated in your goal. And the other thing is, you must have a time frame, otherwise you're only creating a wish list. So that time frame, combined with the picture of who you want to be, the kind of career you want to have, and where you want your future to be heading, is so crucial. So the best way that I know is read that goal out aloud as many times as you can every day. Start with it first up in the morning, before every one of your calls, if you like, before your lunch break, before your dinner break, and before you go to sleep. But I use a different method. I don't go through all of that consistently, because what I do is I plan a few times a day where I can, say, spend 10 minutes or so as a quiet time where I can visualize with what I want to do. I just simply go, close my eyes, and start thinking of the things that I want, the type of person I want to be, the type of career I want to have, where my future should be heading, and the time frame of how I should get it. You know, if you start doing this, and you have those quiet times 2 or 3 times a day, every day without fail, you'll find before you know what's happened, you've not only achieved your goal, but you've overachieved it. Now, that's something they don't teach you when it comes to goal setting, but you've heard it here, and it works a treat, because I've done that the majority of my life, and I can guarantee you I've had better results than most other people in selling.